As you can tell today, we are not in a garden. We are actually over here at the Tandy Medical Building. And joining me is Dr. Chronister. Dr. Chronister, thank you so much for having us here.
Absolutely.
So people are probably wondering, what is a gardening show doing here in a medical facility? But I wanted to talk to you specifically about gardeners and the sun exposure that they might get.
Oh, yes.
It's extreme this year.
It is extreme, and the heat's extreme as well as the humidity.
Absolutely. So, and those can affect our body differently. Like we could have some lower temperatures, but that humidity could really impact us. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So I think a lot of us know what it feels like to be in the heat, right? And that our bodies need a lot of water. We can talk about hydration here in a minute, but whenever we're in the heat, we lose a lot more water quickly, right?
Okay.
However, when we're in the humidity, it creates that kind of stickiness, as opposed to just the sweat drying off of you, which is exactly what you need to cool off.
Right. It feels like you got a rag over your face.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And when we think about like sports clothing, we always see stuff that's like water wicking. Well, because we don't want that water to stay on us, because the longer that water stays on us and the stickier we are, actually that water heats up and it's harder to overcome. Okay. So our body actually has to work a lot harder to cool us down in that sticky, humid temperatures.
Okay. So while it might be great for plants, it's not so good on gardeners.
It is not so great on gardeners. No.
So let's talk. We hear a lot about heat stress and heat stroke. Kind of go through some of those symptoms that we might see and what we need to do.
So both are actually very common. And I think a lot of times people have had heat stroke and they didn't even recognize what it was or what was happening to them. So when we're talking about that heat exhaustion, that's a feeling of just kind of fatigue. Okay. And I always describe it as you feel like you're moving through mud a little bit. And you think, oh, I just must be tired. You might start having some muscle cramps. You might have a little bit of a headache. Or you might get kind of lightheaded when you've been down in the plants and then you stand back up and go, ooh, getting a little lightheaded. That's when you're getting that heat exhaustion. Okay. Now, when we've moved into heat stroke, it is that throbbing headache, often nausea, vomiting. Our heart rate is going very, very quickly, and temperature is quite high. So we're talking temperatures about 103 because our bodies can't control it. So it's very important that that person gets cooled down. If at any point someone loses consciousness during that, you need to get them to a hospital.
Okay.
If you know that you're going to be outside and you know you plan to be out in your garden today, then how about we start planning for that in advance? Okay. So starting 2 hours in advance, but up to 30 minutes in advance, how about we start drinking some water? I would love for someone to get in about 4 cups of water before they even go outside. Okay. About every 15 to 20 minutes that they're outside, make sure you're getting another cup of water in. Now, if you are in the sun and you are actively sweating for more than an hour, but definitely by the hour and a half point, you're starting to not only lose water, but you're losing some of those electrolytes. So that's when it's important to bring in some of those replacement drinks. We think Gatorade, Powerade, but there's a lot of ones on the market now. Wearing good sunscreen is important. Okay. I recommend at least an SPF 30 to make sure that you're getting enough sun protection. Anything lower than that, you might not be getting the anti-cancer benefits. Okay.
And are there any areas that, we should really be more cautious of, that might be exposed, that we might overlook sometimes?
Absolutely. So when we're thinking about that sun exposure, we're thinking things that are hit most with the sun. So
tops of your shoulders, right?
Tops of your shoulders. Yeah. Scalp if you don't have hair, tops of eyebrows, but really your eyes are pretty well protected. So then we're talking about our cheeks, here, our nose, because there's nothing covering that. Exactly. So we're talking really our foreheads, our noses, our cheeks, our tops of our ears, and our chest as well. That is getting that direct sun that we really need to make sure that we are covering with a wide brim hat and some sunscreen.
All right. Well, I think that really covers a lot of it. And of course, if there's any concern, somebody should go see a dermatologist, of course.
Absolutely. And some primary care doctors are able to easily evaluate lesions and treat in the office as well, but it's whoever can best treat it for you.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Chronister.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.